Now it's time to see who has the heart.
If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners.
This is your fight. Now go out there and take it.
What an incredible Cinderella story, this unknown.
Oh, he got all of that one. He's got to be pleased with that. The crowd is just on its feet here.
Welcome to the Best of Tailgate Talk, where we go back into the archives and hear some of our special guests you may have missed the first time around. We'll be back with the Best of Tailgate Talk after this. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to Go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Takes a snap. He's rolling to his left. He's looking downfield. He's looking in the end zone. Throws a jump ball. It's complete. Touchdown, Golden Eagles.
Join us this coming season for Athens High School football. Greg Young will bring you all the exciting play-by-play online at WKAC1080.com or on your WKAC Sports app. You can also hear it on your Amazon Echo or Google Home device by saying Play WKAC Sports. Listen for the radio replays Saturdays at noon and check out the archives on the WKAC Sports page. Golden Eagle football from 1080 WKAC. Time for another edition of the Best of Tailgate Talk. This week we go back and revisit the conversation we had with the Athens softball team after their state championship. We also mixed in some signee talk since there were a few players who were moving on to the collegiate level. We'll also hear our talks with former NCAA football coach Al Borges, and as a forewarning, his call dropped with us twice during the interview, but it was too good to pass up, so bear with us on that. We also hear from Ted Sobel, host and producer of NFL and NHL programming on Sports USA Radio and author of the book Touching Greatness. We talked with Paul Sparling, head athletic trainer of the Cincinnati Bengals, the day before their 23-20 Super Bowl loss to Los Angeles. Then we wrap it up with Ian O'Connor, New York Post sportswriter and author of Coach K, The Rise and Reign of Mike Krzyzewski. So stay with us. The Best of Tailgate Talk will be back after this. P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville, and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Hey guys, this is Abby with CEI Bookstore. I wanted to personally invite you to our annual Truth Lectureship happening July 11th through 14th at Athens Bible School. This year, the theme is I Believe in Jesus, an apologetic defense of faith in Jesus Christ. Our evening singing and keynote lectures start at 7 p.m. and with day lectures from 8 to 12. Want more information about Truth Lectures? Check out truthlectures.com or stop by CEI Bookstore. We look forward to seeing you the second week of July.
This is Bella LaFontaine with Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We take care of all the basics. We take care of cockroaches, ants, wasps. As far as rodents go, most places they'll trap or poison, and that's the end of it. What we do is we're actually going to find the entry points, and we're going to take care of that for you. We do a lot of work with a lot of realtors here in town to bring houses to the closing table. So one of the big things about us is that we're not a sales company. We are a service provider. So we're not looking to meet a sales quota. We're looking to get a house ready to go to closing and get our customers taken care of. This is Bella LaFontaine, Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We are located at 3413 6th Avenue in Huntsville, Alabama. Phone number is 256-701-7095.
Congratulations to the class of 2022. Your future is bright, and you need fiber fast internet to support you as you discover all of your possibilities. Sign up now for Ardmore Telephone Company's Fiber Fast Internet, and you'll get the first month free. If you're a current customer, we'd love to discuss all of our internet options with you to help you connect to everything you need. Give us a call at 800-830-9946 today. Fiber is not available in all areas.
Welcome back to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
We've got in-house 6 members of the newly crowned Athens High School softball state champions, along with the map. The blue map is sitting on the table. The blue map is in the hizzle for Rizzle. Coach Travis Barnes, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
We're glad to have you.
So excited for these girls in this community.
That's great. I mean, great job. We're all following it on the, we've got our Twitter group. We're texting, watching it on the Facebook.
And I was watching it on the NFHS.
Yeah, he was watching it on television.
And so I enjoyed every bit of it.
Did you ladies know y'all were on TV? You didn't? That's good, because you might have been nervous. And you might have made an error like that other team did. So we didn't want none of that going on. No nerves allowed.
I tell you what, that third baseman y'all got is pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
She just a ninth grader, right?
She is.
Ninth grader in the hot box, huh?
She's playing a hot corner like nobody's.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
She's
cool.
going to do great.
Cool. Well, who's holding the mic right there?
Anna Carter.
Anna Carter.
Yes.
You are
next to
Yes.
She's the catcher.
She's the catcher. All right. Mm-hmm. And you are one of them. You're one of the seniors, and you've also one that signed scholarship, because this is a signee show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, who did you sign with?
Southern Illinois. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Southern Illinois.
A little ways from home.
Oh, yeah.
What's the mascot?
The Salukis.
Yeah.
Salukis. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if Bama Zach could come up with a Saluki. He probably wouldn't know what a Saluki was.
I don't even know.
I don't know what a Saluki
dog,
is. It's a husky of some kind,
like,
isn't it?
it's like a husky.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was
Well, that's
thinking.
awesome. I mean,
That's
between
awesome.
prom and graduation and winning state
championship, and you're going up
signing
north.
scholarships. Jeez. Got it going
Southern
on.
Illinois. That's all right.
Yeah.
So, first of all, congratulations, everybody, on that.
Yeah.
I mean, to win it. That's no fair. I mean,
These girls
you're not
want
allowed to
yeah.
shake your head no if the microphone is passed. Okay, Anna, we'll talk to you. What are you going to major in when you get there? Do you know
Biology.
yet? Biology.
Yes.
Cool. I guess you're going to play softball with Southern Illinois
Yes.
Salukis. How do you say that? Southern Illinois Salukis. You got to practice it.
What city is it? Is the
Carbondale.
Carbondale.
Yeah. Carbondale.
Yep.
That's in Southern Illinois.
The winners will be
it is. Boy, that's brilliant, man. I never would have figured that out.
Winters will be a little bit chillier there than they are here for sure.
Yeah. How far is that? 5 hours?
It's only 4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not that bad.
Not that bad at all.
Yeah, it's a few
like
miles
going
north of Paducah.
That's not bad.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's Paducah's pretty country. The land between the lakes up there.
Yeah.
Really nice.
So are you going to play catcher or?
I am.
Okay, good.
Sweet. So catcher's usually known for power. You hit any dingers this year?
I did.
How many did you get?
I hit a few. I hit like 10, I think.
That's what I say. I hit a few. I hit like 40. Yeah, you know.
I don't really keep count.
Okay. Well, we did, didn't we, Todd? We never got one. I got one my senior year in high school.
Yeah, it didn't take much for me to keep up with mine because it was low.
So pass the mic, Anna, if you don't mind, to Emily. Yes. You don't have a choice.
You got it now.
Somebody got
Her
awarded
battery mate here. Her battery mate.
Battery mate, pitcher / catcher, and also MVP of the state tournament. Am I incorrect there?
Congratulations.
Okay. There we go.
That's awesome.
I'm not incorrect. So where are you going? I mean, where you? I'm sorry? Auburn Montgomery. That's right. I remember seeing that somewhere. And you're going to be a pitcher or?
Yes, pitcher.
Sweet. Righty? Lefty?
Righty.
Righty. Gotcha. And so what are you going to major in?
Either special education or kinesiology.
Okay. So you wanting to get back in the school system, teaching?
Wow, that's awesome.
Excellent.
Great.
Our coach. Yeah, coach. Same thing, yeah.
So is 13 your favorite number?
Yeah, it was my sister's number, so I wanted to keep wearing it.
Oh, that's cool.
That's good.
That's good.
So generally, how many, because I don't think I've ever asked this of anybody else, but how many pitchers does the team keep on staff? At Auburn Montgomery, say?
Here or?
No, like say at college, when you get to
I
college.
think there's going to be 6 of us next year.
6 of us. So how hard is it to break into the rotation when y'all can, when there's not limitations on pitch counts and all those different things, and
You just have to do good when
you
it's
just
your
have to just get down there and do it, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I really was surprised to hear that it was about 6. I thought it might have been closer to 4. I mean, of course, you have injuries and different things, but okay. Well, that's awesome.
So being a pitcher, how many pitches do you get a game? I know baseball is different because it's a overhanded throw, but the softball girls, they get more pitches.
Unlimited.
Unlimited, yeah.
There's no pitch count.
Yeah.
Because
so go ahead.
You had over 100 in the championship game, right? Close to 100,
Probably.
right? And she was still way
She's still.
and then can pitch the next game.
Right.
I mean, that's why I asked. Like if you're the top of the chain, you're pitching practically every game, or at least part of every game.
All right.
So if you're that 4th or 5th pitcher, that's why I was asking. It's like, man, how hard is it to break in?
Yeah.
So
what's your fastball?
Mid-60s.
Mid-60s. She'd make us look bad, dude.
That's like a blink of an eye.
Yep.
Now, Coach, you call pitches or?
Oh, not me.
No.
You let the girls
You let the girls
it?
do the pitch calling.
No, we have Mary Elizabeth Beasley.
Okay.
She played at Bob Jones, graduated 2016, I think. So
Gotcha.
She was a pitcher, so she does a better job than I would, so I just handed it over to her.
I got you.
Delegating's part of it, buddy. That's the way to do it. That's
Well,
right.
let's talk to the other twin of the Simons. Katie, y'all are seniors, you're signees, so we're going to make sure that y'all get your time on the microphone here. So they're funny. I don't know if they can talk for smiling. They're happy. I don't know if we've ever seen anybody that happy to be in here in Applebee's before. What's your position?
I play pitcher.
You play pitcher as well? Mm-hmm. Are you going with Auburn Montgomery with your sister? Or?
Yes, sir.
Really?
That's great.
That's like the Lauderdale County triplets going to UNA. Yeah. They got the Simon twins going to AUM.
Well, that's good. I'm glad y'all don't have each other down there.
Right.
And playing with one another. That's awesome.
Y'all rooming together?
Yes, we are.
Oh, that's going to be fun. Oh, yeah, that's going to be fun. But y'all have lived together your whole life, so it's not like, get your flip-flops off my bed or anything like that.
Separate rooms. Now they're going to be in the same room, so you got to take that into consideration, right?
So both y'all going down for pitcher's scholarship. Okay, go ahead. What's your major going to be?
I'm not sure yet.
You're not sure yet?
No.
You should get her basic classes.
You got time.
Yeah.
Majoring in softball. There you go.
Who's the better cook?
I don't know.
What is that? Those noodles.
Ramen.
Ramen. Yeah. Romaine noodles. Yeah. Who presses the microwave button better? I guess because it's ramen noodles and Diet Coke with a diet of many college students. Tim, what you put your?
Well, I was just going to say, let's see who else we've got here, so we can at least give everybody a shout out.
Everybody a shout out. You are. What's your name?
I'm Jordan Johnson.
All right. This is Jordan. What'd you play, Jordan?
I played right field.
Right field. Most important position on the field because most of the time they'll put, you guys obviously won the state because there wasn't any lesser athletes, but you usually don't put the best athlete in the right field. And that's where the ball gets hit. So, but this, go ahead.
It was a foul ball, and it went out of the stands. She dove for the ball anyway.
Funny story. I fell, and it was to make it look less bad. The dive was to just make it look not as face planting.
I thought, man, she's hustling.
That's like the kids. It's like the football team. When you're playing football, you don't make the tackle, but you slide in, get up, dust yourself off to get your name called out on them.
Yeah.
That's it.
Had to make it look.
That's the way to handle it.
Absolutely. That's right. Who's behind you there? Nobody. She moved over. There you go. Helen.
Yes.
Helen
Carter.
How you doing, Helen?
Good. How are you?
Good. What position you play?
Well, I played first, but I usually just rode the bench most of the time.
Really?
Yeah.
She was the cheerleader on the bench, probably.
Well, speaking of cheers, we'll get to Brendan here in just a second, but y'all cheer all the time, right? It's like never stops, does it?
No.
Yeah. Had to power through.
Yeah. That's the thing about softball when you're watching it a lot of times on TV. You're thinking, man, like if that had been us back in the day, I'd have been like, oh, my God, please shut up. That's just a guy thing, I guess. I don't know. Like if I'm out on the field, and y'all are hollering at us and carrying, or, supporting your teammates at bat too, or whatever, but I'd be just like, jeez, I can't even concentrate.
But we didn't cheer from the softball. We actually done chatter on the baseball field.
Swing,
yeah.
It wasn't that constant.
No, you at least took a break when you went in the dugout.
I love y'all. I mean, y'all come up with some awesome cheers. Y'all really do, and it's really cool.
That's what I say. They're organized.
Yeah, they're organized. Yeah.
It's not just hey, better.
Like I wouldn't be smart enough to remember all the words, so I'll just be over there going.
We need
what they said.
We need a pitcher, not a belly itcher.
That's about
Is that
it.
one of y'all's cheers? Pitchers off a rocker, just like Betty Crocker, nothing like that.
That's about all we had.
That's about all we had back in the day. So they got chills for foul. Wow.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Cool.
Now, y'all have any like good luck pieces or superstitions y'all did while
every game.
All right, Helen, you got the microphone. Tell us about some
Well, we brought Yoda along all for postseason.
Baby Yoda or the real Yoda?
Yeah, little stuff.
The little green baby Yoda. Y'all set him on the dugout thing and
yes.
That's cool.
Oh, and the chain.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, we had a chain that Haley brought to every game, but she usually forgot it a lot.
A chain? A chain?
A chain.
Like
an actual, like,
okay.
Yeah.
Like chain.
256 chain.
That sounds like it's more for intimidation.
Well, we went and watched the wrestling thing the other night. They usually bring chains out. They didn't have any chains. They had chairs. So, yeah. Let's bring it over here to Brendan.
Yeah, Brendan.
Yeah, Brendan.
How you doing, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
I said, I'm great. Last time I seen her, she was a tiny little thing at West Limestone. My gosh. You know what that makes us? Oh. Lord have mercy. So, what position do you play, Brandon?
I'm also a pitcher.
Also a pitcher, lefty, righty?
Righty.
Righty. You got any lefties on the staff, Coach? Or no lefties? If you ever have one, they're a breed all their own. The lefty. I'm not saying female pitcher because I don't want to get cornered into that thing. But a left-handed person. You guys, Coach Legg, my wife, there are lefties and they're.
We have Helen's left-handed. No left-handed pitchers.
Ah, okay. Do you bat left-handed, Helen? Ah, sweet. Because she played first base, right? Yep. You put the lefty on the first base. That's cool.
I was going to say.
Brandon, what do you play? You played. You said what you played.
Major.
Pitcher. Everybody's
Who's
a
got
pitcher.
this?
Everybody's a pitcher.
Everybody's a pitcher. That's the key. Depth pitching, and start with pitching and get depth up the middle. Who had the most home runs of this group? Morgan. She's not here though, right? She's a sophomore. Y'all gonna let a sophomore hit more home runs than y'all?
She's a stud. She's a stud.
Yeah. Wow. All right, well, bring it back up here to the coach. Let's talk. We're going to talk the final championship game here. We're getting close. We got some more signees coming in. Coach, you obviously got strategy. You obviously got your athletes, and you're coaching for a championship. I mean, walk us through your thought process. Or did you just do what you've been doing all year long?
That's the key to me was, I didn't make any – I'm not a big special speech type of person. I treated if you ask them, like, the way we talked before the game, the first game of the year, and the state championship game of the year, the state championship game was all the same. Yeah. It was a kind of a business-like approach. They didn't treat it any different. I think that was from their experience from last year, being at the tournament. They just treated it like another game. They've been there before. We played a tough schedule. The reason we scheduled it so tough was so that when they're in those stressful situations, they know how to handle it.
Yep. Gotcha. That's the way to do it, absolutely.
Now, didn't y'all win it was like 8 in a row, right, with regional and the championship?
We finished the year with 12 straight wins.
Wow.
But we went through the area tournament, region tournament, state tournament undefeated.
Wow.
That's awesome.
What was the toughest team you played all year? Toughest game, maybe ask the girls. Maybe
the Hartsville game was pretty tough.
Yes, the Hartsville game was a tough game. I think the best team. Personally, I think the best team we played was Austin.
Gotcha.
But I think Austin, they just caught some bad luck, I think, in the region tournament. But I thought they were a very good team.
One of you girls back there, you said Spain Park.
Spain Park.
Like that time in the season, it was like hard. Like we were still trying to figure out like how to win. Like, I don't know,
like close it out.
Win, and we were like struggling a little bit. And that game, like I think we were down 4-0, and we came back and won. So that game was like a good game to be in.
Good game. Test your mettle, so to speak. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Athens High School softball. Bring home the Blue Map State Championship, Coach. And ladies, remember this. You'll remember it the rest of your life. Never forget it. Yeah. It's time to take a break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State Hometown Team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
Customers agree. There's just something about Scooter's Coffee. Since 1998, their mission has been to keep folks happy by helping them scoot in and scoot out quickly while roasting their coffee from the top 10% of specialty beans in the world. Choose from hot drinks like their Caramelicious and Honey Vanilla Latte to cold offerings like the Strawberry Acai Quencher and Iced Mocha. They've also got smoothies, teas, and blenders. You'll agree, too. There's just something about Scooter's Coffee. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Scooter's Coffee, 547 Highway 72 West in Athens at Town Center. Scooter's Coffee. If you're looking for an alternative to the insane prices of buying furniture, appliances, and electronics outright, why not consider rent-to-own at Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens? High quality at low prices. Top brands like GE, Maytag, Samsung, and Ashley. No credit approval and flexible payment options. See what you can take home today. Visit Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens at 600 South Jefferson Street in the Athens Shopping Center. Go online to buddyrents.com or call 206-9505. Buddy's Home Furnishings.
Hey guys, this is Abby with CEI Bookstore. I wanted to personally invite you to our annual Truth Lectureship happening July 11th through 14th at Athens Bible School. This year, the theme is I Believe in Jesus, an apologetic defense of faith in Jesus Christ. Our evening singing and keynote lectures start at 7 p.m. and with day lectures from 8 to 12. Want more information about Truth Lectures? Check out truthlectures.com or stop by CEI Bookstore. We look forward to seeing you the second week of July.
We continue with our conversation on the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
We've got our very special guest, the Tailgate Talk special guest segment brought to you by Yellowhammer Roofing. And I have to say have the honor of reaching out to Coach Borges to get him on here. Coach Al Borges, the 2004 Auburn offensive coordinator of the undefeated Auburn Tigers. And, yes, we went to Tuscaloosa and whooped that tail because I was there. Coach Borges, welcome to the show. You were there too, Jay?
Yeah. I'm just loving the way you brought me in. Feel free to take a little more time if you like.
You need to hire him, Coach.
Well, I know I remember when Coach Tuberville hired you and all the articles and everything, and if I'm not mistaken, you came in from UCLA, right?
No, I came in from Indiana.
But you had been at UCLA.
I had been at UCLA.
Yes.
That's right, but I was not a popular pick when I came in. I had to kind of win everybody over. You know, I call it my cousin Vinny moment. I came in and I didn't fit. You know, I didn't dress right. I didn't talk right. I cussed too much. I didn't know what to eat. It was ugly. You know, but I made it. You know, my unusual competence got the fans on my side, but it didn't happen overnight.
Well, there's been plenty of unpopular picks who have gone on to have success at Auburn.
Yeah, I might be at the top of the list. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, this is one of the things that we'll get into your book here in just a minute. But I remember they interviewed Jason Campbell somewhere, and Jason called out a play that you had called, and he looks at him and said, "Jason, don't talk Mississippi in my huddle." Call the play.
Oh God! But Jason, it went beyond that. He used to, you know, he didn't talk a lot to start with, okay?
Okay.
But he would speak with a deep Southern accent with a low murmur, okay? If that makes sense to you.
Yes, it does.
So when he stepped into the huddle, he said, I don't remember, I think it was, all right, 38 balls. I go, what? He said, all right, 38 balls. I go, that's not what I called. He goes, Coach, that's what you called. And then I looked at him, and then I looked at the guys in the huddle. I said, you know what? They understand, and what the hell? Let's just leave them alone. Let them call the week up.
That's all that matters.
It don't matter that I understand. All that matters that they understand. So, what the heck?
That's cool. Coach, everybody knows that you had four first-round draft picks off that team, Ronnie, Cadillac, and Jason, and plus Carlos Rogers. Is that accurate?
Yep. 3 of them on offense. Two backs picked in the first 5 picks, which I don't know if that's ever happened. It might have, but it ain't happened since.
Yeah, it's really incredible.
And then Jason went, I think, late 20s something. I can't remember exactly what. But yeah.
When did you know you had that special quality, that special team?
Well, I knew we were really talented when I came to interview for the job. Okay.
Okay.
And they had winter conditioning. Okay. So I'm walking around just looking at the talent, and I'm going, oh, my God. I mean, we got 2 running backs that really look like running backs, okay?
Yeah.
We got a 6'9" left tackle who can move his feet like a halfback, okay?
Yep.
We got Ben Grubbs, left guard, who, you know about Ben. Ben turned out to be a really good NFL.
Yeah, he was okay.
Yes, he did.
He was all right.
Yeah, not bad. And I got a quarterback that's 6'5", looks like he's right out of Central Casting, okay?
Yeah.
And he can fling it. I can see right this kid can throw the ball. So I'm thinking to myself, I didn't say anybody, but I'm thinking to myself, I got to get this job. I said, the problem around here, there was turmoil the year before, all kinds of problems.
Oh, yes.
But one problem was not recruiting. They did a great job of recruiting a really good football team. So I knew the potential of the team when I went to interview. Now I did not realize the majestic chemistry and the synergy that went with that group, and I learned that as I got to coach them a little bit more. But really the coming out party for us was more the Tennessee game. I think really we felt like we could beat anybody in the country after that game. So
is that the game where Ronnie Brown took the safety 5 yards into the end zone, then he hit him head on and kind of stepped over?
He knocked his helmet off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then Cadillac Cadillac turned around and did the same thing later, and then did the same thing again in the championship game on our second touchdown.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, and that guy's a good player. That's Jason Allen. I go through that all in the book. I talk about all this, the play I called, what happened on the play, how he came up, how Ronnie. I mean, I go over a lot of detail that you're not going to get in other books about this season. So that was very, and I got a picture of it too. I took a picture that's going to be in the book. So.
Oh, that's awesome. No, you mentioned the book. Tell everyone the name of the book.
The name of the book is Deny of the Tiger.
Beautiful.
Okay,
that's absolutely.
And it's a clever play on words is all it is. And I had to think what will be catchy, you know?
Yeah.
And I started looking up little deals that go with tiger, and I said, you know what? I have a tiger that fits. So, and I wasn't going to do a book. I mean, a book wasn't even on my radar. Okay, but I took my son to Auburn for the Iron Bowl this last year because he wants to go to Auburn.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he is. Oh, man. I mean, hey, let's now. Philip Marshall doesn't have a thing on him when it comes to Auburn. He knows everything about anything, whether it's baseball, basketball, football. We sit and watch basketball games and cuss at the officials, and it's
beautiful.
So, but he wanted to go. So I said, well, what better time than the Iron Bowl? So I took him down for Iron Bowl. We had a blast. But you know what happened, guys? I'm walking around, and I figured, hey, I was here 18 years ago. I mean, I was here for a little while as a consultant or an analyst, whatever that is.
Yes.
But that wasn't significant. I mean, I was here 18 years ago. It's like I never left. I mean, the fans were unbelievable. Somebody stopped me and say something. Somebody, So I got home, and I realized one thing's for sure. My son definitely wants to go to Auburn. But any doubts there, which there weren't any to start with, are completely gone. And the second thing is, I said, I got to do something for the fans. I got to do something, a legacy, something. So I sat down, started hammering out a book. Now, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't sure I was going to have enough staying power. I said, well, I'd do it for a week and say, I don't want to do this. Well, I started writing the thing. It wrote itself. In 3 weeks, I had a rough draft.
Wow.
But what I did, I'm going to tell you what really helped. This was a huge deal. I had kept 13 games, 13 DVDs from that season, I had some of the CBS copies, ESPN copies, and some of the CSS, remember old CSS with Cole Kublik and Andy?
Yeah.
I kept all those. I went through every play of every game, and so many thoughts were triggered by watching it, I used the example like, we call it timeout, so Jason would come to the sideline. Well, hell, I know exactly what I told him there, as I'd write it down, And when we'd go in for halftime, I go, I know exactly what I told him in the halftime of the Alabama game. We played so bad. And I remember going in, and I remember exactly. So all that stuff came back. And I still got a pretty good memory anyway, but the thoughts that were triggered based on watching those DVDs just recreated the entire season for me. And it was great because I got a chance to watch the team play again, which, those DVDs have been in my archives for a while.
That's good. I remember going into the restroom behind, and some Alabama fan goes, "Here, kitty, kitty, kitty." I was like, "I hear kitty, kitty in your tail."
And it wasn't me.
Yeah, it wasn't Jay. This game ain't over, cousin.
I'll tell you what, that game, that's a great chapter. That might be my favorite chapter.
All right.
But that chapter explains how we changed at halftime and what we did. And I'm not going to give away too much because I want people to buy the book. But as poorly as we had played in the first half, the metamorphosis to the second half is all explained. What we talked about at halftime, the whole deal. So I think if you don't read anything, you'll get something out of that one.
Our seats were on the lower level, right beside where you guys, the football team, actually came in. So my son, Mayo Sowell, defensive tackle.
Yep.
He comes by, and I recognize him. I said, "Mayo, give me your gloves. Give me your gloves." He pulled his gloves off and handed them to me. My son still has those gloves today.
Isn't that cool? Don't lose those now. That's a special season there.
No.
It's amazing. The thing I remember is John Vaughn pulled his field goal in the half. Remember that?
Yes, he did.
Hit the post. We finally got a drive going, and the Alabama went in. They were so sky high. I mean, it was like the stadium was going crazy. Because we weren't playing well, there were crowd noise problems in the first half, that went away in the second half. But at the time, jamming signals big time. The place was electric because they had the chance to beat the number 3 team in the country. And
Right.
I could certainly understand why. And as much as I am not an Alabama fan, the Alabama fans are pretty incredible now. I mean, they're just dressed in red. They're not like the Auburn fans, just dressed in red. But it was a tough environment to play in, particularly when they were doing well.
It's still a tough environment to play.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah, it's gotten tougher, I think. Yeah, no doubt about it.
So, before we get too far and not tell too many stories, is the book available now, and where can it be purchased?
No, it is not available, but I'm throwing out preemptive shots right now. Okay?
Gotcha.
The book's done. The book is in editing. As a matter of fact, it's done with editing. But it will be out in August. So what I want to do is and again, I'm a neophyte to this author stuff. I'm a football coach. So let's keep that in mind, okay?
Right.
But they told me if you don't market it, it won't sell, okay? So what I've done is I've set up a bunch of radio and podcast stuff where I'm just going around talking about it, giving guys a little tease. And then I'm going to come back around in August when it comes out, and I'm going to redo the whole thing all over again, tell people how to get it, where it is. And then my plan, if everything goes as scheduled, okay, is I'm going to go take my family down to the LSU game and do a book signing. That I've already talked to Auburn about it, and they're good with it. So I think I'm going to go down and set up a booth for a book signing. The book should be out for a while, at least a month or 3 weeks by the time I do that.
Yeah.
So that's my plan.
But that's
you are where now?
I'm in Ann Arbor, Michigan, pretty much. I live in Saline, which is just outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was here that we lost his signal, so right now we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be back with more of our visit on the other side on Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
This is Bella LaFontaine with Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We take care of all the basics. We take care of cockroaches, ants, wasps. As far as rodents go, most places they'll trap or poison, and that's the end of it. What we do is we're actually going to find the entry points, and we're going to take care of that for you. We do a lot of work with a lot of realtors here in town to bring houses to the closing table. So one of the big things about us is that we're not a sales company. We are a service provider. So we're not looking to meet a sales quota. We're looking to get a house ready to go to closing and get our customers taken care of. This is Bella LaFontaine, Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We are located at 3413 6th Avenue in Huntsville, Alabama. Phone number is 256-701-7095.
Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side. Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy.
Congratulations to the class of 2022. Your future is bright, and you need fiber-fast internet to support you as you discover all of your possibilities. Sign up now for Ardmore Telephone Company's fiber-fast internet, and you'll get the first month free. If you're a current customer, we'd love to discuss all of our internet options with you to help you connect to everything you need. Give us a call at 800-830-9946 today. Fiber is not available in all areas.
P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. The reviews are in for Box Drop Mattress in Ardmore, and they're awesome, just like the store. Box Drop in Ardmore has mattresses made in the USA at huge discounts. Plus, they offer flexible payment options and no credit is needed. And they'll deliver right to your door. Box Drop, located at 26561 Main Street in Ardmore. Open Tuesday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30, and Saturday from noon till 4. Appointments also available by calling 321-8888. Box Drop in Ardmore, 321-8888. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, what did I piss you guys off or what? What happened?
Well, you mentioned Ann Arbor, Michigan, and next thing I know, the calls dropped. So.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's ironic.
I'm the one in charge of the sound here, and I'm an Alabama fan, so I just get tired of all that.
Now we know the problem. We spotted the problem, okay?
So, Tim, when do we come back? So we're a seasonal show. We go with the high school sports. So during summer we're off. But
we're off June and July, but we'll be back in August.
We'll be back in August.
Good. We'll circle back.
I got all your information. I'll come back and I'll give you all the update on the whole thing. Okay.
Well, if you're anywhere around North Alabama,
I just appreciate you guys letting me come and tease it a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. If you're anywhere around North Alabama, let us know. We'll.
Well, that's why I was asking where he was right now.
I
thought, he was talking about a book signing, and I thought, well,
we've had
do
books,
one here.
We've had book signings here before. So.
I am open-minded to anything. If you don't market it, you won't sell it. Everybody's telling me the same. And the author's really got to do it. You can't depend on other people to do it. So I've taken this thing all on my own. I wrote the book by myself. I don't have a ghostwriter.
Really?
I had my girl sat there, and she kind of filtered stuff for me. Okay, she says, "Well, that's too complicated. You got to make that simpler so people understand it." So she was my litmus test. It really helped. Okay. There's a few cuss words in there because I wanted to make it authentic to the situation, okay?
They don't cuss on the football field. You know that.
No, but this is not Hemingway or this is not Steinbach or Gresham. This is Al Borges, okay?
Got it.
So I wanted to be true to the authenticity of the situation. So, but it's not bad. I mean, it's kind of PG. Let's just say that.
Did you have to reach out to any of your players? Do you remember this situation, or was it all? Did it all come back while just watching the DVD?
Oh, I did it all pretty much on my own. I talked to Jason a little bit about a couple deals, but other than that, I really didn't need to. See the other books, guys, that were done on this. There's been a bunch of publications on the season, but most of it's depictions of the season and then quotes from the players and things like that. I didn't want to come at it from that angle. I wanted to come at it from my angle, put you in the locker room, put you on the sideline, put you in the huddle, and sit in our meeting rooms. That's what I wanted to do. You can't get that from any other writer. You can only get that from a football coach, and that's why I went at it from that angle.
So Coach Tuberville was a defensive coordinator. Did he pretty much give you full reign, or how was your working relationship with Coach Tuberville?
He don't get any better than that. Him. I had 3 head coaches that were really, really good that way. Tommy, Brady Hoke, and Pokey Allen were you had complete autonomy. Now, I had that pretty much where I was, but those 3 spots were the best places. You did what you did. You know what I mean? And make it work. And that's what I work best that way. I don't like being micromanaged because it screws up your creativity.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah, they say you're supposed to hire good people and let them go to work.
Yeah, and that from that perspective, it just doesn't get any better.
Coach, what was it like coaching Denard Robinson?
You know, I'm not going to tell you too much because this is what I did now. Because I wrote this book 18 years after the fact, I was able to segue to places that I coached before and places that I coached after.
Okay.
And what I did in one chapter is I did a comparative analysis between coaching Jason Campbell and Denard Robinson. And that's as much as I'm telling you. Okay?
Because I say that
this whole piece explains the answer to that question.
I say that because I was at the Michigan game, Alabama-Michigan game in Dallas, and he's an amazing athlete. You know, I hate he didn't get to play as much at Jacksonville, but you know, he was an amazing athlete just to watch play.
And he's a wonderful kid. I mean, just as good. I mean, he walks in the room and the lights up. You know, now he's different in that he's not one of those button-down collar quarterbacks that sit in the film room and watch film for hours and hours. He's a guy's got to go out and do it. You know what I mean? He's got to. You can't hold him in the room. You got to take him out and let him do stuff. He's more of a kinesthetic learner than he is a chalkboard learner, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I know this is probably in the book too, but what was Pat Dye like?
That's in the book. Let me tell you, I will say one thing, and I'm going to leave it at that because there is a story in there that about Pat. Now you got to understand, I came in, I didn't know Pat Dye. All the other guys knew Pat Dye. But the one thing I'll say is this: I was the only link to the 2004 season with Coach Dye. And I'll let the book explain the rest of it. Okay, but that's a very, very interesting piece.
I can't wait to read that.
Well, now you've been several other places too. Any of the other places more pleasurable experience for you than others, or?
Well, I get that question a lot. I think the biggest thing is the Auburn experience had the greatest impact on me because of the 2004 season. But you got to remember, too, guys, we were 41-9 in the time I was there. We averaged over 10 wins a season. So it wasn't just that season.
Right.
It's just that season left the greatest impact. Now, we were 11-2 at Michigan my first year. Until this year, we were the last team in Michigan to beat Ohio State. When I was at UCLA, we had beaten USC 8 years in a row, 3 of them when I was there. So I had other great experiences, but this one's just had the biggest impact.
Yeah, no, it sounds like, you've been part of a lot of really big moments for a lot of really big programs. You brought up Michigan. I think that year y'all played Virginia Tech in the Sugar Bowl?
We played the Virginia Tech in the Sugar Bowl both times. I did.
Okay.
We played Virginia Tech in the 2005 Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
And we played Virginia Tech in the 2012 Sugar Bowl.
Right.
Both times, Frank Beamer, Bud Foster, defensive coordinator, were really, really good teams.
Yeah, no doubt.
And Coach, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask about Rod Bramlett.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God. It's gut-wrenching. To this day, it's gut-wrenching. And I mentioned Rod. As a matter of fact, I dedicated him and Meredith Jenkins and Quentin Groves are the dedications. Yeah. So, but Rod Bramlett was so special.
Oh no, we done it.
The win.
That win, man.
Give him one more chance. We'll
definitely
wrap it up in a bow.
It's Sound Tower Blue.
Sound Tower Blue.
Yeah.
All right, what did I do this time?
I didn't touch a thing.
It just blew out, Coach. It's windy down here, kind of like a candle. Just blowed it out.
Anyway, you're talking about Rod. Rod had a way of encapsulating the scenario in such a clever way. Every time, like paint these checkerboards orange and blue. All right, at the end of the Tennessee game.
Yes.
Put that in your BCS pipe and smoke it after we beat Georgia. There's
go
so
crazy,
many cool
Cadillac.
things.
Yeah.
Oh, go crazy, Cadillac. That was a year before me.
Oh,
but people have stolen that now.
Yeah.
People have stolen that. They've taken that from that. And I've heard other telecasters say that, but I think Rod was the first guy to say that. The first guy I ever heard say it. But he was just a special dude who was Auburn football, and his wonderful wife Paula was perfect match for the two. I don't know. It's still very gut-wrenching when I think about him and Paula and Meredith and Quentin's short life and Quentin had such a huge effect on our 2004 season. So they're gone, but not forgotten. I promise. Not in this book. They're not forgotten.
Absolutely. And we know that Jason, Ronnie, and Cadillac are still involved with the program. Jason and Ronnie with broadcasting, Cadillac with the coaching. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to wrap this one up. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
Congratulations to the class of 2022. Your future is bright, and you need fiber-fast internet to support you as you discover all of your possibilities. Sign up now for Ardmore Telephone Company's fiber-fast internet, and you'll get the first month free. If you're a current customer, we'd love to discuss all of our internet options with you to help you connect to everything you need. Give us a call at 800-830-9946 today. Fiber is not available in all areas.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State Hometown Team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
Welcome back to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
We have a special guest with us. He is in his 18th year with Sports USA. Mr. Sobel, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Thank you for coming on the show with us this morning.
Well, my pleasure. Thanks for the invite.
Absolutely. So tell us what you specialize in. I mean, you have a lot of experience in your 18 years. Tell us what you enjoy writing about, what you've had going on recently, anything special going on. Just tell us everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my book Touching Greatness is now out on Amazon, and it took me about 3 years to write it. And it's a memoir of growing up in Southern California in the 60s and into the 70s, what it was like in those old days. There's a chapter on being in Vegas quite often during the Rat Pack era, and just a lot of personal and fun stories about days gone by that we will never, ever, ever see again. And then since then, being over 40 years in radio here in Southern California, mostly covering sports. I also have a chapter on covering the entire career of Tiger Woods and Kobe Bryant, and a football chapter which includes my little trip to Birmingham, Alabama, where I had one of the highlights of my life, meeting my boyhood idol, Bart Starr.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome. So I'm glad Birmingham treated you well.
Oh, it was great. Absolutely fantastic. It was a lucky day for me because Bart We had talked over the years on the phone and never had a chance to meet. And he said, if you're ever close in the neighborhood, please give me a call. We will have lunch. Well, since I live in Southern California, it's a little bit of a walk to Birmingham.
I'd say so.
Didn't have too many reasons to be in the neighborhood, but I was covering the Masters in Augusta, Georgia. And that year, the first thing I did was go on to GPS and say, how long of a drive is it? It was exactly 4 hours. So I called him up and I said, how about the day after the Masters? He said, well, I'll see you then. And that's what happened in 2014. And it was just a few months before he had his stroke, too. So I was really, really lucky.
Yeah, no doubt.
No doubt. And so, yeah, like I said, we are live with Ted Sobel, who is a Southern California extraordinaire. And so you were talking a little bit about the days gone by. I've heard a lot. So I'm 27, so I wasn't around during these days gone by. But I've heard
you just had less days gone by.
There you go.
And I've heard a lot about how Southern California in like the 70s, 80s, 90s was like truly like a glory days period for Southern California. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, let's go back into the late 60s because that's when I was in my teens, just going to high school. And there's a lot of music in the book as well because I talk about the old days. Maybe you've heard of the Whiskey A Go-Go or the Troubadour. A couple of really popular spots that have been there since those days and still there these days. But it doesn't have the same aura that it had in those years. So I had a chance to move into that neighborhood in the West Hollywood, West LA area, and it was so great because that's when music was really evolving at the time, and country rock was just becoming a big thing. And this was just before the Eagles became a group.
Okay.
And I was going to the Troubadour, where Linda Ronstadt got her basic start, and several others, and she met a couple of guys named Glenn Fry and Don Henley there at the Troub. And I just happened to be there when she played her first concert there with them as her backup in her band. And then it was only a few months later where she says, you guys go do your own thing. And that started the Eagles. And I have a couple of stories in there in the book about a couple of songs, the origins of songs that people never heard the true story about, and I've got some inside scoop on that, and it's a lot of fun to bring it back.
That is awesome.
That is really cool. So you said it took you about 3 years to write your book. Talk to us a little bit about that process of maybe something someone doesn't know about the process of getting something published like that.
Well, it wasn't easy. First of all, it's very difficult because I'm a radio guy. I'm not a writer. So I've been in radio for decades, and basically I heard so many people say, hey, you got a story about everybody, meeting Joe DiMaggio and like guys like your boyhood idol Bart Starr. I got a chapter on Elgin Baylor, the great L.A. Laker who played in the 60s and into the early 70s. And Elgin it turns out he was a neighbor of mine, and I joke about how I stalked him as a 15-year-old trying to find out where he lived, and we ended up becoming friends, and he took me to the games on a regular basis.
Oh, that's real cool.
I'm thinking, you try doing that today, right? You can't exactly walk up to LeBron James' house, knock on the door, and say, hey, I'm the neighbor. Can you start taking me to games, please?
No.
It's a different world.
Well, I read a statement that you had made at some point that said part of your success in life is being unafraid. So there you go. You can't be afraid to ask Elgin Baylor, hey, Elgin, let me ride to the game with you, buddy.
I joke in the book that I literally did come up with the phrase "go." Not go for it. Now I can't. What is it? Nike is what's
just
the
do
Nike?
it. Just do it.
Just do it. Yeah, thank you. Just do it. So I used to say that all the time, and then about several years later, it came out as the thing for Nike, and it's like they must owe me about $20 billion.
Yeah, no, they owe you some money for sure. There's some royalties to be paid.
No doubt.
How about one shoe? How's that? I'm not asking for much. Right?
Yeah.
But it did take 3 years to write it, mostly, guys, because of the research, because I wanted to be 1,000% accurate.
Absolutely.
And whether you're 27 or 67, you can't remember everything you did in your teens and things that really meant a lot to you. So I went back and I researched everything. And, when you see something like an old newspaper story about something that you're writing about, it brings back those memories. And all of a sudden it's like, wow, now I remember that.
Yeah.
As opposed to you never would have remembered.
Oh no, absolutely! I completely agree with you. So I'm sure that there is a little bit of nostalgia when you were doing this research, and a lot of flooding memories coming back to you.
That's a great point, and there were actually a few tears that came to me throughout the writing. It was really strange. Like all of a sudden, something would hit me. I'm in the middle of writing, and I've got this great thought, and I want to put it down in writing so you can feel my thoughts. And all of a sudden, I start to choke up, and that happened several times. It was strange because I'd never had that experience before, but it shows how much that meant, and that's why I wanted it in the book.
Well, yeah, I mean, going back and reliving all those memories, and like you said, they kind of start come flooding back. And I had I don't know if I'd read it or heard it about your dad taking you to Sears at age 7 to go see Ted Williams, and that being your first experience, and I'm sure at age 7, not knowing, I mean, well, you knew who Ted Williams was, but, still that's young. They had that led to now the door's opening for you to meet. I mean, you've lived a life, man. Just athletes, presidents, celebrities, musicians. With all that said and done, and you cover so many wonderful events, Wimbledon, the Masters, Super Bowls, World Series, whatever. Out of all those memories, do you have a couple of favorites that after you got to thinking about them went, wow, this is my favorite memory, or I can't believe I was really able to do that?
Yeah, there are several of them, and fortunately I really get into them in the book. Tiger Woods' last win, for example. Just a couple of years ago. It feels like it was 100 years ago now. And they're just hoping that maybe he even shows up at the Masters. Well, I covered the Masters when he had his great comeback a couple of years ago. And, and that was just an amazing thing. And I talk about in the chapter, it's called the Tiger Tracking. And because I covered his whole career from his first swing as a 16-year-old here at Riviera Country Club, because it just happens to be, he's from the same city I am. So I knew who he was as a little kid. But you never know, somebody's going to turn out to be something special. I mean, a lot of these guys, they flatten out. They never reach their potential. But there was something about Tiger that was different. And being there that day, at the Masters, I talk about how the last few holes I'm wandering through there was just so many people there. It was just a swarm of humanity, and just what it was like to follow him and the sounds of they called the tiger roars at Augusta. And so I try to get into that. And then I was fortunate enough to get to ask the second question in his news conference about what that meant and what this comeback actually was to him. And that is part of the story in the book. So that's obviously one of the special ones. But, to me, like being at the World Series, I was at the first World Series game at Dodger Stadium in 1963 when Don Drysdale pitched, and he was my favorite player. My dad made sure I got a chance to go to a game to watch my favorite player start in the World Series. And it just happened to be it was the first game at Dodger Stadium in the Fall Classic, and they shut out the Yankees 1-0. And I talk about that game, and I had a few of the guys from that game give me what it was like to be there at 1-0, a final score. And the last out of the game was a fly ball to my favorite regular everyday player, Ron Fairley. At the time, he was an outfielder, and he caught the last ball up against the bullpen gate. Otherwise, it would have been a tie game. And my dad was yelling at me from the parking lot, "We're leaving." They're trying to beat the traffic because it's the World Series. I said, I can't go anywhere. I was afraid they might leave me, but then again, deep inside, they're not going to leave me here and go. I was only 10 years old. So anyway, I recall that, and that's a very special memory to me.
Absolutely. Well, hey, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to have you back on the other end of the break. You've been talking to us about a lot of good things, and we'd like to continue talking to you.
My pleasure. Thanks.
Great. So this is 1 Item 12 Dodson with extraordinary producer Tim Lambert and Todd LeBond, and we'll be back after the break at Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
This is the Big 1080 WKAC Athens.
Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side.
This is Bella LaFontaine with Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We take care of all the basics. We take care of cockroaches, ants, wasps. As far as rodents go, most places they'll trap or poison, and that's the end of it. What we do is we're actually going to find the entry points, and we're going to take care of that for you. We do a lot of work with a lot of realtors here in town to bring houses to the closing table. So one of the big things about us is that we're not a sales company. We are a service provider. So we're not looking to meet a sales quota. We're looking to get a house ready to go to closing and get our customers taken care of. This is Bella LaFontaine, Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We are located at 3413 6th Avenue in Huntsville, Alabama. Phone number is 256-701-7095.
Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. The reviews are in for Box Drop Mattress in Ardmore, and they're awesome, just like the store. Box Drop in Ardmore has mattresses made in the USA at huge discounts. Plus, they offer flexible payment options and no credit is needed. And they'll deliver right to your door. Box Drop, located at 26561 Main Street in Ardmore. Open Tuesday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30, and Saturday from noon till 4. Appointments also available by calling 321-8888. Box Drop in Ardmore, 321-8888. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
We have Ted Sobel, who is a radio extraordinaire, the current longest tenured Los Angeles-based, Southern California-based sports reporter. So, Mr. Sobel, let's jump back into it. You were talking to us about some great things, and I think you mentioned earlier you brought up specifically Tiger and Kobe, and you've talked a little bit about Tiger already. So, talk to me about your journey covering Kobe.
Yeah, well, Kobe Bryant, when he first came up, was just a snot-nosed kid. A sort of a spoiled brat, but at the beginning he was a little bit on the, I don't want to say shy, but he was holding back. You could tell that there was just a ton of confidence that wanted to come bursting out, but he also knew, I'm just a kid here and around a bunch of old guys, and I got to figure this out, how to be a professional player, since he came straight out of high school. But I was there the first day that Jerry West introduced him here to the Lakers, and he was reserved just enough, but you could see he had the cockiness which you need to become as great as he was.
Absolutely.
And people talk about, that turns me off. Well, maybe, but, hey, when you're doing something and you're trying to be the best you can be, you got to have the cockiness to say, I know I'm really good, and I'm going to grab whatever I can out of my potential. And nobody ever, any sport, anywhere, ever worked harder than Kobe Bryant at his craft, and I got to give him a lot of credit for that. But I always joke about the fact that he's definitely cussed me out more times than any other.
I was just going to bring that up. Yeah, I was
more than any other player. It wasn't even close because I wasn't afraid to ask him the right questions as opposed to beat around the bush with him, and he knew it. And there was one time when Tiger Woods had his issue at home back in 2010, and his wife wanted to beat the hell out of him, and we all know what happened with that.
Right.
So it was that was like right around Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So it was a few weeks later that I was covering a Lakers game. I was out there on a regular basis, probably covered 80% of the games in those days. And when the game was up and we finished our little gathering in the media in the locker room, and Kobe finished his thing, I wandered over to him and I said, Kobe, got a quick second? I got one more personal question I want. I think you're the only guy in the world who can answer this, who could relate to what's going on with Tiger Woods. Do you have a comment on that? And guys, I can't tell you how he responded because you're not allowed to use those words on the radio.
No, okay.
Yeah. He went nuts on me, and he goes, and this and that, and are you effing kidding me, and blah, 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 blah. And I said no. And the Lakers PR guy walked over to me, and he said, Ted, you are on his S list ever. You'll be lucky if he even ever answers a question of yours, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, whatever, I got a job to do. I was very polite. I didn't try to be somebody. I never try to be the story. I'm just trying to get a comment because truthfully, Tiger Woods and Kobe Bryant, they had their own personal legal issues, and we all know what those are about. It's like, come on, if there's one guy in the world can answer that, he's the one, and he didn't want to answer, and that's fine too. That's his prerogative. Yeah. So
that's all he had to say, though. Was like, look, exactly. Dad, I'm not going to answer that.
Exactly, but
on.
Whatever. That's fine. Yeah. We had our own little rapport going there. And it was no big deal. I don't take things personally. It's like, okay, it's the same as a no to me, no biggie. Yeah. So I started to walk away, and I was leaving the room, and all of a sudden this long arm comes around me, and I look up, and it's Kobe, and he says, hey, I didn't mean any of that. Don't worry about what he just said. And he walked me out, and we were laughing. So
oh, man.
That's the kind of guy he was. And let me tell you, if anybody evolved as a person, more than Kobe Bryant, I want to meet them because, like I said, he was cocky. He was tough to deal with. You ever seen the meme where some guy asks him a question during the finals? When they say, "Hey, you're up 2-0. How come you're not smiling?" Have you ever seen that?
Oh yeah.
And he says, "Job finished? No, job's not finished." That was my question, guys.
And that's what Nick Saban would say too.
Exactly.
And I started to ask you, if I ever wanted to get in touch with some of these personalities, I was going to ask you if I could drop your name, but I don't know. I'm having second thoughts about that now.
I had a great rapport with really almost everybody. I've never had any personal issues at all. Because look, it's a reporter's job to do his job, and as a player could do whatever they want. They don't have to answer every question. And I respect that too. But remember, I'm working for $3 an hour compared to their $3 million an hour.
Right.
And I'm basically giving them free 24/7 pub that you can't get in any other business in the world or the universe.
Yeah.
Right?
It's up to them whether it's going to be good or bad.
Freebies.
Yeah.
What's that?
And it's up to them whether it's going to be good or bad publicity. So
totally.
The way
it's really funny too because people don't think about that. They say, "Oh, it's the media's fault." Well, the media, if they change your words or they change the structure, it meant, that's that fault of that person who changed that. Otherwise, if you give me a quote, and I'm radio, I'm not newspaper, right. So you're going to hear what they said.
Yeah.
I can't change that, right? I'm not going to edit their words. So I may edit exactly, the soundbite I want, but I'm not going to make it something that they didn't say.
So yeah,
they're the narrative. So they can, and that's why some people in sports can be so great after their careers because they knew how to make it work for them. Yeah. Every one of these people could be gazillionaires if they just smiled and did their thing. No matter what the question was, they don't have to answer it, and if they want to answer, that's great too. But they control the narrative, and a lot of them don't know how, and that's the problem.
No, I think you make a lot of really good points, and especially when you're giving them 24/7 publicity, they have the opportunity right in front of them to really mold how they're viewed by the public.
Totally. And obviously the way things have changed now because of social media and however you want to use the internet.
Right.
You got you got your own thing now where a lot of these guys say, hey, we don't need the Ted Sobels of the world anymore because I can do my own thing. I can tweet it out. I can put it on Instagram. I can do whatever the heck I want. And that's true. And so that's what's changed in my business a lot because now the guys growing up now, remember, it was only up until about the last 10 years where the ones growing up didn't have this. Now they have it, and it's like, we don't need you. You're just a waste of our time.
Yeah.
So it's totally different.
And obviously y'all made up. I mean, there's a picture of you and Kobe on the cover of your book, Touching Greatness.
Yeah.
So obviously, that relationship ended up on
it
a
was
good
great.
note.
It was very special because he respected me and I understood him. I didn't always respect his answers to me, but that's okay.
Right.
Again, it's only sports. This isn't brain surgery. Yeah. So, if I'm asking a question, I don't want to receive the same, well, I'm giving 110%. Thanks, but that's not going to go on the radio. Yeah. I'm not using that.
Well, and speaking of respect, you bring up another little story I'd read where Super Bowl night, Eli Manning throws the ball that Tyree catches, David Tyree.
Yeah,
my
favorite story. Thanks for bringing it up.
And so, here it is at the end of the game, man. You're going in there. You're in the tunnel. You're fixing to talk to Eli, and then Barber comes in from NBC and kind of roots you out of the way a little bit. But out of respect, Eli comes back to you. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
Oh, it's my favorite post-game story ever, guys.
Okay.
The funny thing was the Thursday before, this is in 2008, the Thursday before that Super Bowl when the Giants were the underdogs and New England was supposed to have a perfect season, and it looked like they were going to. They just looked like they had too much for the Giants. Besides, New York had a really good defense.
Yep.
So I had to decide, coming in from L.A., this was in Arizona, in the Phoenix area, and I had to decide, am I going to go, I had one day, either the Giants or the Patriots for the last day that the media can talk to the players. So I decided on the Giants because the whole world was going to New England.
Very nice.
I thought, let me come with a different angle on this from the underdog. Plus, there were 3 or 4 really good players that were from Southern California. So I thought I'd give it that little bit of an angle when I went in there. So I finished up all my interviews that day. This was on the Thursday before the Super Bowl, and I'm getting ready to leave, and there was one table in this room. There was a receivers table, then the DB's table, and the quarterback. Well, the quarterbacks didn't have a table, but each regional position had a table and with name tags at the each chair, and there was one guy left in the room, and he was just sitting there, and it was David Tyree. Now, most people had no idea who David Tyree was because I think he caught 5 catches all year leading up to that.
I sure didn't know who he was.
Yeah, he's just another guy, right? Just a part of a squad, and he was having an awful month too. Because even in his practice, he was dropping balls, and they had like zero confidence in him. And that's not exactly what you want throughout the playoffs going into the Super Bowl. But again, he was just another guy. Wasn't going to play a lot anyway. So I wandered over to him, and I knew him mostly because, besides the fact that I covered the NFL, I knew him because he was part of a proposition bet in Las Vegas that me and my buddy made a bet. Would he make over a catch or under a half a catch? So meaning if he caught one,
you're in the money.
It's an over, right? If he got none, it's an under. So it's Vegas, right? So they have a prop bet on almost everybody. And that's the greatest example right there.
Absolutely.
So I walked up to him and introduced myself. I said, "Hey, I'm Ted Sobel from L.A. Radio, and I'm just wondering, do you know anything about proposition bets in Las Vegas? Because you're on one of them." I'm just making small talk with him. We wasn't even recording anything at the time. And he said to me, "No, I have no idea what you're talking about." And a lot of players didn't. And so I explained to him, took a couple of minutes to tell him what a prop bet was, and he said to me, "Well, you tell those people in Vegas that I'm going to make some important catches in this game." And it's like, no, I'm not telling anybody. I'm just telling you what a prop bet is. But he still didn't totally get it. But he was having fun with me. Anyway, we broke up, and I wished him good luck, and on to the rest of the day I went. The game happens. We all know he makes the greatest catch in the history of the Super Bowl, which NFL Network to this day says is number one on that list. And, the helmet catch. And so the game is over, and I went downstairs. I had a plane to catch that night. I had to fly back home. So I want to get a little bit of post-game interviews and get out of there. And first I'm waiting for Eli Manning, thinking there's no way I'm going to get him, but I'm going to try. I was all alone in the tunnel where the players come out from the field back to their locker room. And I was standing there by myself, just me and one of the security guards. And after a bunch of guys come out, here comes Eli with about 5 suits around him. And he's got his MVP hat on and the whole thing. And, he just won the Super Bowl MVP like his brother did. Peyton won it the year before. And so in a million years, guys, you have no idea. It is 1,000% impossible to get a one-on-one with the Super Bowl MVP after a game, especially if you're me, who, I'm just a local radio guy. They're not going to do a one-on-one. But I was standing there by myself, and I said, Eli, I didn't even ask him for an interview. I just said, hey, unbelievable. Are you right now that you just did what your brother did last year, one of the great upsets in the history of the Super Bowl? And he got all animated with me, and he started talking to me, and in the middle of the first response, that's when Tiki Barber, his ex-teammate, running back, who had just retired and ripped Eli all season long, saying he could never lead them to a Super Bowl. and here he won it. And here comes Tiki, who's working for the Tonight Show. I'm sorry, for the Today Show, not Tonight. The Today Show, the morning show, right, on NBC. And he came over with his cameraman and his boom mic guy, and he basically pushed me out of the way and sort of half apologized for it. And he did a one-on-one with his old buddy, and I put that in air quotes because Eli and him were not exactly close. That's the first time they had spoken in person since all of their back and forth through and Eli's not like that.
No.
He doesn't. No. He's never like that. He's just a good old quality, classy guy, and he's not going to get into that stuff. But anyway, Eli did this little interview with him, and he had this fake smile on his face, but he got it out of the way. And then all of a sudden, that was the story. Everybody wanted to know, Eli and Tiki, and all the New York writers like, what's going on? And they all come running over. And I was the only guy there. Now there's like 50 or 75 reporters watching Eli and Tiki do their thing. And so I went way off into the corner and forgot about it and said, I can't believe that he just screwed up my only chance to get a comment for a one-on-one. And I was really disappointed. It was because of the timing of it, and Tiki was rude about it too.
I'm sure.
Right? So anyway, Eli comes walking down. He finished the things up, and it was like the parting of the seas. Security. Now there's a bunch of security people opening up so Eli can walk back down the tunnel and to the locker room off to his left. But off to his right, all the way in the far corner, was me. He's looking around like he had just lost his wallet. And all of a sudden, he sees me in the corner, and he walks all the way on the other side of the tunnel, goes over and says, excuse me, I apologize, let's finish what we were doing, puts his arm around me and walks me back to the locker room. And everyone standing there is thinking, who the heck is that guy with Eli Manning?
Man.
And Eli didn't know me from Adam, but that's what he did. How classy is that guy?
Very classy.
No, that is very classy. And,
then it wraps up where I'm in the locker room, and out of the blue, I see David Tyree in the far side. He's finishing up an interview with somebody. He ends up walking towards me, and we sort of locked eyeballs. And I walked over and I said, do you remember me? He goes, I told you I was going to make some.
That's awesome. Well,
isn't that unbelievable?
Yeah,
what are the chances?
That really is unbelievable. I've really enjoyed listening to your stories, and we all here really appreciate you coming on the show. That is Ted Sobel with his new book, Touching Greatness, taking time to speak to us on Applebee's Tailgate Talk. We wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you back to finish up more stories as well, no doubt.
Yeah, I'll come out anytime, and Touching Greatness is on Amazon. Hope you can check it out.
Absolutely. So here at Tailgate Talk, about to take a quick break here.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand. First to help with community events and fundraisers. First to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations. First to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events. And most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together. That's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon. Customers agree. There's just something about Scooter's Coffee. Since 1998, their mission has been to keep folks happy by helping them scoot in and scoot out quickly while roasting their coffee from the top 10% of specialty beans in the world. Choose from hot drinks like their Caramelicious and Honey Vanilla Latte to cold offerings like the Strawberry Acai Quencher and Iced Mocha. They've also got smoothies, teas, and blenders. You'll agree, too. There's just something about Scooter's Coffee. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Scooter's Coffee, 547 Highway 72 West in Athens at Town Center. Scooter's Coffee. P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State Hometown Team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
Welcome back to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
We have the head athletic trainer and director of sports medicine for the Cincinnati Bengals, Mr. Paul Sparling. Paul, are you busy right now?
Well, we're a little bit busy. Most of the hard work's been done the past couple of days, so we're preparing for a little game we're going to have tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now, I read an article earlier today or yesterday that said that way back in high school, maybe junior high school, you had mentioned you're the head athletic trainer of the Bengals now, and you had told one of your friends that that's what you wanted to do way back then.
Well, it's kind of funny. If you've got a brief minute here, I'll just tell you, I wanted to be in sports in junior high, and I figured out it didn't take too long. I was too small to play football, too short to play basketball, and I couldn't hit a curveball. So my athletic endeavor options were limited. And I happened to have a coach that asked me about athletic training. I didn't know what it was. Again, you're talking 50 years ago. And I said, sure, I'm interested in it. He sent out for a home correspondence course. Wow. And I learned about pulled hamstrings and strawberries and Charlie horses and things like that. And I just fell in love with it. I was a 9-letter winner in high school as an athletic trainer student for football, basketball, and track. And I had a classmate that asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I remember telling him, my goal is to become the head athletic trainer for the Cincinnati Bengals.
That's awesome.
And I just kind of came off the top of my head. But I ended up going to Wilmington College, which is where the Cincinnati Bengals at that time held their training camp. I did it with the hopes of maybe having an opportunity to meet the head athletic trainer and just to say I at least met him. And I ended up getting hired as a training camp laundry boy. Between my freshman and sophomore years, they found out I was an athletic training student and not just some slap kid looking for a summer job. And kind of worked my way in. The equipment manager said, start helping me in here. And the head athletic trainer said, start helping me in here when he found out I could tape ankles. mixed Gatorade, and kind of the rest is history. But I owe so much to so many people that gave me the opportunity, especially Mike Brown and Marv Collins, who was the head athletic trainer at the time, who kind of took me under his wing.
Well, what year was that when you first started with the Bengals?
Would have been 1979 was my first year with the team.
Okay. So you've been through it all.
I have seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, and for about a decade and a half, we had a lot of ugly.
And here you are. Here you are in the Super Bowl now.
Here we go. I was in Detroit when we played Pontiac when we played the 49ers. I was in Miami when we played the 49ers again, and I never thought I'd have an opportunity to see this again. In fact, when Joe Burrow and Zach Taylor came on board, I told both of them, I said, you know what, guys, I'm late in the fourth quarter. I'm not planning on going into overtime. And I'd really appreciate it if we'd have an opportunity to go for this one more time. If you could do anything to help me, I'd appreciate it. What can I say? They delivered. Now we just have to finish the job.
And I think it's pretty incredible just what you all have done, especially with Joe Burrow only being in his second year. So could you talk to me?
He is a special guy. Let me tell you, he has got the it factor. And I don't know what it is, but he is so unique. I've told people he reminds me a little bit of Boomer. He reminds me a little bit of Kenny, but he's got a whole lot of Joe in him. And he is just such a focused guy. Adversity doesn't hold him down. I remember after he was injured in Washington and tore his ACL, I got on the bus with him. I said, you know, Joe, my kind of rule of thumb is guys get 24 hours to pout. And then we need to focus on forward. And he looked at me and he says, "There's no pouting. Let's go."
Oh yeah, I don't think you're going to find any
approach. Yeah, that's the approach he's taken with everything. And he's not a screamer. He's not a yeller. Boomer would get in guys' faces. Joe doesn't do that. Joe just lets his actions speak for themselves. And the guys are committed to doing things the right way, the way he does it. They follow his example, and he's not the only one. We've got a lot of other good players on this team that they feed off of each other. I don't see any sense of selfishness amongst, for example, the receivers, since there's only one football and only one guy can catch it at a time. But there's a commitment to work with each other and understand that you get your opportunities, and when you get them, you take advantage of them. And that's the epitome of a team.
And Paul, he can sling it like David Klingler too.
Oh my! He got a bullet. He can fire bullets, and it very quickly became apparent to me why I was not a wide receiver, because he will take your fingers off if you let him.
And it helps too. Playing with Jamar Chase in college too, that helps out a whole lot.
It's amazing the chemistry that they had. It's like it never stopped. And remember, Jamar didn't play for a year.
Right.
Yeah.
And Joe had already been here for a year.
Right.
But when they hooked up, it was like two old friends coming back together, and they didn't miss a beat. And you add that with T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, and then C.J. Azuma. I mean, he's got so many weapons to pick from, and then it's exciting to see it.
Yeah, and so you brought up Uzama real quick, and I think it's absolutely incredible that he's going to be playing after the injury he had.
Well, I will tell you this. The normal timeline we had predicted, one of the things that we're asked to do is to have a crystal ball for ownership. and when a guy goes down, when are we going to get him back? And we had projected that he would be back on the field early September, and he was there. But being back and being fully back are two different things.
Right.
I think he'll tell you he had to get some of his confidence back during training camp and during the early part of the season. He did. He knocked off the rust, and once they got into sync, it is no turning back. And he's not had a problem with that knee since.
So as far as becoming an athletic trainer, I guess it's more to it nowadays than taking a correspondence course.
Much more than that. I mean, I've got my bachelor's degree and my master's degree, and now actually doctors of athletic training. There's a doctorate program you can go through, and a lot of people don't understand, and they think that the athletic trainer is just the one taping ankles and mixing Gatorade, because that's what that's what people see and think of. But there's a whole lot of education behind it, injury evaluation. You're dealing with rehabilitation. You're dealing with all health issues. Most athletic trainers were thrown into the COVID turnstile over the last couple of years. I was the infection control officer for the team, so one of my responsibilities was to try to keep the team healthy as best we could. So there's a lot of education behind it, and a lot of responsibility and accountability. You know, you're responsible for all the medical records, coordinating the physicians, just handling that entire piece of it. We kind of kiddingly say that anytime there's a new directive from the NFL, bank on the athletic trainers being responsible for it. But, we do it, we get it done, and I've got a great group of guys that work with me, assistant athletic trainers and team physicians that work with me collectively as a team, and I've got a great ownership. I've been blessed. One of the reasons I've been able to stay here as long as I have is because it's a family-owned and operated business, and they recognize loyalty, dedication, and commitment to the cause. A lot of other guys, friends of mine that were in the league, are gone because of coaches coming in or general managers coming in, or even new ownership that comes in and decides they just want a clean house. Not because anybody did anything wrong, but they just want their own people in there.
Right.
And I've been blessed in that regard, and I know it.
Yeah, well, I think the city of Cincinnati, are you all becoming really known for sports medicine? Because I know the University of Cincinnati has a really good sports medicine program. I talked to someone in their department, and it seems like the city itself is really becoming known for the field of sports medicine.
Well, we kind of think so, and we've taken students not only from University of Cincinnati but from other areas that have excellent programs as well, like the Northern Kentucky University, College of Mount St. Joe, Wilmington College, Cedarville University, which are all suburbs, if you will, of Cincinnati. That it's really neat to see how much does come from greater Cincinnati as it relates to that. We've got great physicians, and I'm blessed to have a number of good consultants that we can use if we've got a guy that has a neck problem or a shoulder problem or a hand problem, a foot problem. I mean, I've got a roster of excellent physicians and physical therapists that we can call on if we need to adjunct what we've already got on our staff.
Yeah, I got a deep roster.
Yes, I do, and don't think it's important to have those guys on your roster, but it's also important to have guys warming up in the bullpen.
There you go. There you go.
You know, just like players end up, retiring and moving on, physicians do too. So I'm always trying to, stay a couple steps ahead and plan. If this person were to move on or decide they didn't want to do this anymore, who would be the next person that I would think of? So I try to keep my fingers on the pulse, and just that's kind of my job as the director of sports medicine administration, is just to kind of keep the train on the tracks. I tell people that I'm the orchestra conductor. I've played all the instruments. I know how to do them, but I've got a great staff that does it for me now, and my job is to make sure we're all playing great music together and getting the job done. And like I said, I could not be doing what I'm doing, and we could not be having the success that we're having without great people working alongside me, as well as all the others that pull this all together. It's not a one-man show for sure.
No, Paul, the kickoff tomorrow is like 5:30, so what time does your day start as far as getting everything ready?
Well, 9 o'clock is when the bus will leave that'll have the equipment managers and the athletic trainers towards the stadium. So we've already got the stadium set up for our game. We're going to be doing a walkthrough here shortly here at UCLA, and then we'll be bussing out to the stadium so that the players can see where we're going to play, see the locker room, the field, etc., take a team photo. But about 9 o'clock is when my day gets started in terms of on my way to the stadium and making sure we have everything ready so that we want as few distractions as possible. We want to make it as close to a normal game for us as possible, and I think the coaches have done a good job of that. The football ops people have done a good job of that, of minimizing distractions and just trying to allow the focus to be on the task at hand.
Well, Paul, we appreciate you joining us. Thanks for coming on with us at short notice, and we'll talk to you soon down the road.
All right. Well, hopefully next time we talk, we've got a big ring on our finger.
Absolutely. Go Bengals.
All right.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
That was Paul Sparling joining us from Los Angeles for the Cincinnati Bengals. We're going to take us a quick break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on the WKAC.
If you're looking for an alternative to the insane prices of buying furniture, appliances, and electronics outright, why not consider rent-to-own at Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens? High quality at low prices. Top brands like GE, Maytag, Samsung, and Ashley. No credit approval and flexible payment options. See what you can take home today. Visit Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens at 600 South Jefferson Street in the Athens Shopping Center. Go online to buddyrents.com or call 206-9505. Buddy's Home Furnishings. Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side.
Hey guys, this is Abby with CEI Bookstore. I wanted to personally invite you to our annual Truth Lectureship happening July 11th through 14th at Athens Bible School. This year, the theme is I Believe in Jesus, an apologetic defense of faith in Jesus Christ. Our evening singing and keynote lectures start at 7 p.m. and with day lectures from 8 to 12. Want more information about Truth Lectures? Check out truthlectures.com or stop by CEI Bookstore. We look forward to seeing you the second week of July.
The Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship has been set up to honor the legacy of Bama Zach Green, a huge fan of the Crimson Tide, along with Limestone County sports. The scholarship will go each year to a male and female athlete from Limestone County. Checks should be made out to Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship and can be sent in care of Garth Garris, 13833 Pinnacle Drive, Athens, Alabama, 35613. Donations can also be made in person at First State Bank of the South at 1319 Highway 72 East in Athens. Thank you for showing your support for local athletes by giving to the Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship. Need custom screen printing or other promotional products? Got You Covered Screen Printing and More in Athens is, well, got you covered. Screen printing, promotional items, stickers, graphic design, vinyl for signs and garments, and other customized products. They also offer local pickup and delivery services, rush orders, volume discounts, and can customize any project to meet your needs. Got You Covered guarantees to get the job done and will work hard to make sure you're completely satisfied. Call today, 444-4500, or stop by and see them at 389 West Sandifer Road in Athens. Got You Covered Screen Printing and More. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
We have the New York Post sports writer and also the author of The Rise and Reign of Mike Krzyzewski. Book about Coach K is what we're going to call it, Ian. Ian O'Connor, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Tim, how are you? Thanks for having me on.
Well, I'm Tom. Tim's the other guy. But that's
I'm sorry, Tom.
Tim, Tom, Todd, Tim, Tom, Todd.
Bunch of T's.
We're good, yeah. Now, here comes Tim. Tim's got his headset on now.
Yeah, you call us anything you want. Just
as long as it ain't late for dinner, man.
That's right.
That's it.
Well, listen, you guys are doing me a favor, putting me on the air to talk about my book. I very much appreciate it. And fire away.
Todd is wearing, Ian, I can't tell you what he's wearing. He is totally
I dressed up for you, Ian.
North Carolina Tar Heels, top to bottom today. So,
well, hey, you know what? There are a fair amount of negatives in this book. I think this book actually has examined more of the flaws in Coach K's life and career than probably anything written before it. So that would work for a North Carolina fan.
Would it? Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, I was There's several things I want to ask you about. Before we get into your book and Coach K, I read an article that you did recently about Patrick Ewing in Georgetown, and his the opportunity, I guess for lack of a better word, and it was a really good article, by the way. I read a few of your things, and wow, Dave, you're good, really good.
Well, no, thanks for saying that.
I mean, it's the truth. You do an excellent job. I just thought you brought up some great points. I mean, John Thompson III, who was a legacy, obviously, had a better record than Coach Ewing, and he wasn't given that same, and I know last year they won the Big East and all that, and they looked like things were moving forward. And then this year you go 0 for 20 in the conference.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was terrible.
I mean, unbelievable. And I watched a few of their games, and they were in those games. They were in them. They just never could pull them out. But who would ever thought Georgetown would have went 0 for 20 in the Big East? That's just unheard of.
Yeah, nobody ever went 0 for 20 in the Big East before, and it's hard to believe that Georgetown would be the program that would do that. But Ewing is also, when he was coming out of high school, and I'm old enough to remember this, he was by far the number one high school player in the country, and a lot of the powerhouse schools were after him. Georgetown at that point did not have any significant basketball tradition. They had just started to come on a little bit under John Thompson, but he picked that school. He gambled on that school where he could have gone anywhere, Kentucky, UCLA, North Carolina, you name it. So he gambled on them a long time ago, and I just thought, if you're going to give a guy one extra year, he's the right guy to get that gamble or to gamble on. And so that's why I wrote the column the way I wrote it.
Yeah. It was a great article, made a lot of great points. And so I'm going to start, I don't know if I should get a subscription to the New York Post or what to start keeping up with you, but I definitely started following you on Twitter so I can at least see what you post through links. So.
No, thanks. I guess we could just start with we should get you a free copy of the book. I was going to say, well, maybe if you go on Amazon.com, you can buy Coach K for, what are they selling it for now? Maybe about $18. You could get a used copy for a lot cheaper than that. But we should get you a free copy. That's what we should do.
No, I don't mind buying it at all. And for those that want to follow you, you can follow Ian at Ian_O'Connor on Twitter. Go to Ian, -O'Connor.com to his webpage, or go to Amazon to buy the book. And I encourage those to do it. I learned something about Coach K last week, and he is not one of my favorite people, obviously, because, he's punished UNC over the years, and I am an Alabama fan to heart, but UNC's always been my go-to basketball team. I've loved them since I was probably 15 years old, and I'm 56 now, so a long time. But
you're old, man.
I'm old, yeah. But and I don't know if you cover this in the book or not, but the young man who passed away, I don't know, a few months ago, maybe a year ago, who had Down syndrome, who sat behind the bench for years there at the Duke games. Did you cover any of that story in your book or talk about that?
I didn't in my book. I'm aware of it, and I think it does show a humanity that Krzyzewski has. And I actually opened the book with a story about a former player of his at Army, West Point. And I opened the book with this story for that reason, to show his humanity, because you don't often see it. And it was a guy who 6 years ago died of cancer, unfortunately, and on his deathbed, he wanted to tell Coach K, who had been with him in his final weeks and months, trying to get him the best doctors, either at Duke or in New York City, to get treatment for him. And he was really trying to inspire him to fight it and fight it and fight it. And he did. And then he couldn't win the battle. So he's days away from dying, but he wanted Coach K to know, I didn't quit. I need my coach to know that before I die. So he could no longer speak. The cancer had taken away his speech. So his brother was standing next to his bedside on the phone with Coach K, relaying that message to him. And I just thought it was a powerful scene that, A, showed his humanity, as I mentioned earlier, and B, also what Coach K meant to his players long after they stopped playing for him. So hopefully that was an effective way to get into the book.
Yeah, well, it certainly sounds like it. And listen, I've always respected Coach K as a coach, obviously, but that just opened that story I heard about the Down syndrome young man, and then obviously what you just told me. Yeah, that shows the human side of him and the good natured side of him. Because, like you said, you don't hear those stories too often. Not that you're necessarily hearing a lot of bad stuff. You're not hearing that either, but you know what I mean. You're just not hearing the good, heartwarming stories. So that's good, and it's great that you put that in the book to open up that side of him.
Yeah, and by the way, as a North Carolina fan, or any North Carolina fan, what the Tar Heels did to Coach K and his team in that last game in Cameron Indoor Stadium had to feel pretty damn good to give him that kind of.
I'm not gonna lie.
And if you look at the way this thing is shaping up, it's possible. UNC I think will beat St. Peter's and go to the Final Four. I suspect Duke will beat Arkansas tonight, though. Arkansas is a really good team. I would not be surprised if they send Coach K home. But if you could see Duke and North Carolina in New Orleans.
I know, and as a UNC fan, I mean, like, it's one of those things, like, first of all, man, I'm ready for Arkansas, not because it's Arkansas, but SEC, right? I mean, we're in SEC country here. And, of course, me being anti-Duke. But, the chance.
You really feel.
But the chance to have UNC do it one more time. And, but I don't, well, let me ask you this, too. All right, I'm going to change the subject real quick. So, Kenny Anderson brought this up on TNT the other night about. And you brought this up in an article, matter of fact, and it was a great article once again about the players playing for themselves and not playing for Coach K.
Right.
That was that was spot on, Dave, because I think early on in the year they were doing that. He announced this was going to be his last year and all this, and so now you've got all this pressure as these 18, 20-year-old young men to want to send your coach out on a winning note. Win the ACC, win the NCAA. And, and have to win all those games in between just to be able to get that opportunity. I think they are maybe playing for themselves now, each other, instead of looking at, I don't know. What do you think about that? Because that was a great, great point that you brought up.
Well, thanks. I agree with that they are now. I don't think they were doing that before. I think they felt so much pressure in that UNC game in Cameron that you could see the Tar Heels were playing with house money, and they were playing freely. And Duke was tight because it was Coach K's last game at home. Now, and Paolo Banchero said this yesterday, and I asked him a question, but he said that we're sort of beyond that now. We're playing this tournament to win the national championship, and Coach K's already won 5 of them. So it's not going to kill him if he doesn't win a 6th. He'd obviously love to win a 6th in his final season. But this is their one chance as players to win. This is their only chance. Half of them are going pro.
Yeah.
After the season, so they really should do it for themselves. It's sort of like the cake is doing it for themselves. The icing is Coach K.
Yeah.
But don't forget what the cake is, and that is this group of players has one opportunity to win the national championship, and that's the way they have to approach it.
Yeah, great point. And I think you covered in your article, Boeheim kind of said the same thing that Coach K's already got 5, 6 would just be kind of like you said, icing on the cake. It's not going to affect his legacy one way or the other. 5 or 6, either way, 1,200 plus wins, whatever. None of that's going to be topped in our lifetime anyway.
Oh, I think that's a record that will never be broken. Yeah. But on the men's side anyway, the Stanford women's coach is Tara Vanderveer. I think she's within striking distance, so she could do it. I think the other record that won't ever be broken is John Wooden's 10 national titles.
Yeah.
His record, I think when he did it, that college basketball was a lot harder to dominate. I think there was a lot more parity in Krzyzewski's time than in John Wooden's time.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And also remember, John Wooden to win a national title had to win 4 games. Now you have to win 6.
Yeah. Big
difference. So that's a huge difference. And I'm not trying to diminish the 10 titles. It's hard to do that.
No, it's
the
truth.
If you ask me who's the greatest, like I think Nick Saban is the greatest college football coach of all time. If you ask me who's the greatest college basketball coach of all time, I actually would give Krzyzewski a slight nod over John Wooden.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Does Coach K sit down with his players and have them tie their shoes
like Wooden did?
Like Wooden did?
I don't think so. I haven't heard that one.
Oh, you've never heard that story? Yeah. Yeah.
So Wooden had them tie their shoes. How?
Well, he would set his team down before the season started, and he'd say, "Okay, here's how you tie your shoes, because if you don't tie them right, you're going to get blisters." And, this is going
he had it down to tying the shoelaces, man.
He did.
Yeah.
Seth Davis wrote a great book on John Wooden. I'll have to go back and consult that to see if he had that in
there. It should be if it's not.
Yeah, right.
Well, as far as your Coach K book, is it more of a – I'm going to assume it's not so much a biography, but just a kind of just stories about Coach K?
It's a biography. It's both. It's a lot of – and listen, I think he wants to write his own book in retirement. So he didn't sit down with me for a lengthy interview, but he did tell me that he would not block any of his friends from talking to me, including lifelong friends that he grew up with in Chicago. So Belichick was my previous book. Belichick tried to block everybody from talking to me.
Wow.
Krzyzewski did not do that. So I always appreciate the fact that he could have made my life a lot more difficult in this process than he did. So I talked to his longtime childhood friends in Chicago, his closest associates and coaches in the game, friends, adversaries, you name it, about 275 people in all, to put together really the stories and the tale of his what I think is a great American life. It's flawed, and the flaws are covered. And I think some people who are not used to the flaws of Mike Krzyzewski being written about were maybe a little surprised. But I think like an honest account of somebody's life has to include the negatives. Yeah. So the negatives are in there as well.
Yeah. So were you able to sit down with Coach Knight?
No, and I think at this point, I'm not, based on his health, I'm not sure that he'd be able to do that anyway.
Yeah.
And so, their relationship is over.
I knew there wasn't one there, but I didn't know if Coach Knight would even had been interested if you'd contacted him and sharing something in the past,
I contacted family members of his, friends, and just got no response. Somebody close to him did respond to me and said that he would directly ask him, but I guess I just don't think he's in a position to grant an interview. And their relationship ended in Pinehurst in 2015 at a reunion of Knight's first Army team in 1965. So it was the 50th anniversary of that team. And they had a lot of ups and downs, more downs than ups in recent years. And finally, it ended when Krzyzewski approached his table and Knight completely ignored him. And Mike just said he walked out of the room, he marched out of the room, and some of his old West Point teammates followed him out the door, and he told them, "That's it, I'm done with this bleeping guy. I'm never going to try again." And he really, over the years, was the one trying to keep the relationship together. He was doing 95% of the work.
Yeah.
And he finally threw up his hands, and my reporting in the book shows that is the last time they ever spoke, 2015.
That's so sad. And at least I always loved Bobby Knight in Indiana basketball, and I know times have changed. And you brought up a good point in another article I read about how Coach K was able to move with the times, change, and adapt, and Coach Knight was not. And obviously that was part of his downfall. But to treat Coach K like that after all those years that Coach K gave him as not just a player but as an assistant, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I don't know what to say.
I think he just couldn't handle the fact that his protege surpassed him, right?
I believe,
and broke his records and won more national championships. And I think Knight had a lot of problems with that, and ultimately that led to the end of the relationship.
And instead, he should have felt like he was part of that, right? I mean,
absolutely.
He should have felt like he was part of it. And Coach K would give him credit for being part of it. So
sure, absolutely.
I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, Bobby Knight's a different dude, that's for sure.
You got that right.
Where can everybody find your book there, Ian? You mentioned earlier, but go ahead.
Probably the easiest place is Amazon.com. It's Coach K, The Rise and Reign of Mike Krzyzewski, and it's my 5th book. It made the New York Times bestseller list in its first week out.
Sweet.
And yeah, so that was nice. It is a treat. I've been doing this for 37 years, but I've never forgotten that it's a good job to have if you love sports, to basically follow it and go to games and write about the most interesting figures in it. It's still, even though I'm 57, I'm not 29 anymore. I haven't forgot that. I never will, because once you do forget that, you should stop writing, really, at the end of the day. So,
yeah, well, just be safe and enjoy it, man.
Hey, thanks so much, guys, for having me on. It was a pleasure, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Ian. Appreciate your time, buddy.
No, thank you. You did me a favor. Thanks.
Goodbye. Wow, that was fun.
Yeah.
Todd just
that
was the best, because I didn't know the stuff to ask him. Great job, Todd. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
This is Bella LaFontaine with Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We take care of all the basics. We take care of cockroaches, ants, wasps. As far as rodents go, most places they'll trap or poison, and that's the end of it. What we do is we're actually going to find the entry points, and we're going to take care of that for you. We do a lot of work with a lot of realtors here in town to bring houses to the closing table. So one of the big things about us is that we're not a sales company. We are a service provider. So we're not looking to meet a sales quota. We're looking to get a house ready to go to closing and get our customers taken care of. This is Bella LaFontaine, Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We are located at 3413 6th Avenue in Huntsville, Alabama. Phone number is 256-701-7095.
If you're looking for an alternative to the insane prices of buying furniture, appliances, and electronics outright, why not consider rent-to-own at Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens? High quality at low prices. Top brands like GE, Maytag, Samsung, and Ashley. No credit approval and flexible payment options. See what you can take home today. Visit Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens at 600 South Jefferson Street in the Athens Shopping Center. Go online to buddyrents.com or call 206-9505. Buddy's Home Furnishings. Customers agree. There's just something about Scooter's Coffee. Since 1998, their mission has been to keep folks happy by helping them scoot in and scoot out quickly while roasting their coffee from the top 10% of specialty beans in the world. Choose from hot drinks like their Caramelicious and Honey Vanilla Latte to cold offerings like the Strawberry Acai Quencher and Iced Mocha. They've also got smoothies, teas, and blenders. You'll agree, too. There's just something about Scooter's Coffee. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Scooter's Coffee, 547 Highway 72 West in Athens at Town Center. Scooter's Coffee. The reviews are in for Box Drop Mattress in Ardmore, and they're awesome, just like the store. Box Drop in Ardmore has mattresses made in the USA at huge discounts. Plus, they offer flexible payment options and no credit is needed. And they'll deliver right to your door. Box Drop, located at 26561 Main Street in Ardmore. Open Tuesday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30, and Saturday from noon till 4. Appointments also available by calling 321-8888. Box Drop in Ardmore, 321-8888. You've been listening to the best of Tailgate Talk. You can hear the archive of this and other shows online at tailgatetalk.net. Join us next Saturday at 10 a.m. Applebee's Tailgate Talk is a production of Play Action Sports on 1080 WKAC.